We will begin in 2 minutes. Namanda, 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 namanda. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to our spring Ohigan service. Nice to have so many here, and standing room only. So many people against the walls, no place to sit. So nice to have everyone here and there joining us for service at both our temples. And so before we begin, I'd like to share some of my reflections upon the BCA National Council meetings that just concluded last weekend. And I'm always very impressed. Every temple I've been to, I try to make a point to share some of my thoughts and reflections on the meetings, and everyone works tirelessly. Everyone works so hard, and it's just nice to see that and to be a part of that. So deep appreciations to BCA, their staff, to all the ministers. Our own Dr. Kent Matsuda has concluded his term as the BCA president. And so we're very grateful for his time and his commitment, and appreciate all the more because he's a part of our district, part of our temple, part of our family. So outstanding job, and it's nice that we're able to hear his words and read his writings, and to have him lead many of the sessions that we have had. Also a welcome to Terry Omori, who will be our newest BCA president. And we can marvel at the progress. Now we're having our first woman BCA president. So this is nice to see. Especially compared, I remember coming into the ministry, and even at that time, you would see older pictures, not that much older, but National Council meeting pictures, and primarily men. And you would see, where are the women? Where are the women? And so gradually, there'd be more and more in leadership positions, and finally to have Terry stepping up and welcomed as our president. It's nice to see. Another mention is the education programs that we have. Reports from the Institute of Buddhist Studies, Center for Buddhist Education, and the JSIO, and each of these are providing educational opportunities and sessions that we can participate in, and teaching our upcoming ministers graduate level studies, and all this is happening. And so they are continuing to grow and improve, and this is very important. So we have numerous committees that are working hard. Lay People Social Welfare Committee has sent support to the people of Ukraine. And this was done through donations through two separate groups. One is UNICEF and one is called Social Giving, and each was provided $20,000. And so this is a substantial amount. And they did it quickly. It was done before these meetings began, so 2-3 weeks ago already. And so for our groups to be able to respond so quickly is, many people have been impressed and have said so. So I think we can all be very proud of that. On the Jodo Shinshu Center debt, we still have a bit to pay up, and both Enmanji and the Buddhist Temple of Alameda have participated in the 4x4 by 1,000 program to reduce the debt, and kind of that is a nice example to the other temples, groups, organizations, and individuals to continue to hopefully do the same and bring down our debt all the more. So this is something that particularly nice to see both these temples have participated in and taken a part of. One other thing is the annual dues. Usually from this podium with robes on, you're asked not to talk about monetary conditions, but once a year, I think it's okay. This is always a major concern. People are concerned about dues going up all the time and how much it costs, and they do keep creeping up. And what is impressive is how everyone is on the same page to keep the costs reasonable, looking for any angle to keep our programs going and keep the costs down. So they try so hard and look for every possible way to keep these costs down. And in my own eyes, it's quite the bargain. When you think of all these educational opportunities, you think of everything that the temple provides for our families. When we have something, a situation that we come across in our lives, the temple and, the members, the ministers, they all respond just like that. And it's amazing at times that when they really need it, and so many other occasions that at the local level, district, and national level, this functioning goes on. And when I look at that, the dues, even though they go up, it's quite the bargain. It can go 5 times higher. I don't care. Yeah. So one of the things, when I think about my own donations, it's encouraged that when you're getting towards the end of your life, maybe you want to include the temple or the Buddhist Churches of America as part of your will, and that kind of makes sense to me. You have a little bit that you've saved, and you can provide it to your family, and they do. They'll buy a nice car or a house, and it's done. But through this, you touch millions and millions of people. You bring them comfort, support, and meaning to their lives, and it's lasting. And so this should be something to be considered. And, certainly, it touches me to think of that in this manner. And so, sorry, boys. That's the message to my own family. So, like I said, I try to give a short report just to keep our own members abreast of what happens at the National Council meetings. And there was one time, one of the temples, when I did this, and after I made my short report, one of the active members, Sensei, this is the first time I can remember that our minister said something about the national meetings and said something so positively about BCA. And I felt so sad to hear that kind of report. But I think there are many, many positive things that go on, and that we should feel very happy that the national organization is using our funds and completing so many projects and working so hard representing us. And I think they're doing a very, very nice job of doing so. Okay. So this concludes my short report. For the Ohigan service today, I'd like to go over the service order. We will begin with the Hyobyakumon, announcing the purpose of this gathering, this spring Ohigan service. Sutra chanting will be the Shishindai and the Sanbujo. So everyone, hopefully you have your service books or material prepared here or at home so you can participate. And now that we have a few people actually here, it's nice for all of us to hear another voice. You don't feel like you're chanting alone in a room or something like that. So this has been nice for all of us. So again, Shishindai, it's next to the Sanbujo and the Sanbutsuge. Nembutsu and Ekoku will complete the chanting portion of the service, and then I'll come back here for our Ohigan message. Okay, so with that, please join me in Gassho for the Hyobyakumon. Today, on this occasion of the spring Ohigan service for 2022, the members of our temples have reverently come before Amida Buddha. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages: Namo Kie Butsu, Namo Kie Ho, Namo Kie So. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Shishindai, Sanbujo. Namanda, 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 Namanda. She 主公遠慮改心論平有脈樹木如来予言小生無輪小学大音コール実法開門精進三昧知恵意徳無量修正慶右人体前年諸分崩壊無人人の空語外体無明欲ぬ世尊読む念のしし人徳無量空君広大知恵人妙光明一層神道大仙願が差分在所法華道生じ未不下乱不正所以戒人精進如是三昧知恵以上公正特分不良志願一切空空一切大安平死有分百千億万無量大小修行亡者不要一切死と処分不妙愚道天正不逆非尿亡者処分世界不不影無修仙道光明師匠変師匠国行税精進偉人難病如来差分国土第一公衆奇妙道場超然国領内音二無闘争加藤愛民道断一切自法来生新年少女イトラ国慶楽安穏公文神妙世が神聖本願の日力少々欲実法世尊知恵無下上領子孫知が神領軽量心死小不六中他行精進臨終不敬ナマンダ Namanda, 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 Namanda. Couldn't hear you guys today. You got lost? Huh? So when we chant, we're not so familiar with the Shishin line, but the second line, you join me. So 3 verses, kind of like the Sambujo, but the whole second line from the Namo, everyone can join me. So it's new too, and we're not even used to sitting in the temple. So sometimes it's hard to feel Hasugashikashi, used to sitting alone and not doing those portions maybe, but you're welcome to chant with me when we do those. Also the Sambuzuge is something that we don't do so often, but it wasn't until like the last quarter then I started hearing the voices behind me, so it's always kind of a new adventure when we do our sutra chanting, but it's fun. I so appreciate everyone being here and joining us for service today. New, even myself, you know, I have new wires all around my body, so my robes are full of, I have a wireless mic and I have a wired mic, and worried about tripping on the wires or pulling them out of the phone or making the whole tripod fall down or something like that. And also, when you do these camera settings, Sharman would tell me, look at the camera, look into the camera. Watch these news reporters, they look right in the camera. And so I practice to look at the camera, but it's hard, you know, and I'm used to looking at everyone. So it's really a different transition, and also, I don't know, it's just so different. But when you sit for chanting, if there's a different camera, don't look at the camera. Make sure you don't look at the camera. Be focused on your chanting. And so no matter where you sit, there's like different rules that we kind of play by right now. So this is all new and adventurous for all of us, okay? So today we have our spring Ohigan service, and we all kind of recollect the story. The spring and fall Ohigan are times of the equinox when the weather is very calm and mild, and there's kind of a harmony and balance throughout the world, throughout the universe. And so this harmony is not only out there, but we could be able to sense it within ourselves as well. And so inside and outside, they're kind of matching and reflecting each other. And so this is a very considered to be perfect time to meditate, to reflect, and to practice our Buddhist practices. And so the 6 paramitas are provided as guides to our practice. This is what our Dharma school in Alameda is looking at all through this year. And to share these again, dana, sharing, or selfless giving sometimes. Sila is conduct, responsible conduct. Kshanti is effort, sincere effort. Vidya, patience. Dhyana, mindful awareness or meditation. And then prajna, wisdom. So we don't only try to think about these twice a year during Ohigan, but every day, to live each day with these kind of, hopefully keep these as guides, keep these guides in mind as we go through everything in our lives. Okay? And this way, we can live in harmony with others around us. We can live as units in true accord, as the 3 treasures says in our book. But it's not so easy. In fact, it's hard. It's frustrating, sometimes impossible. And so this is where Shinran Shonin comes in, and his teachings show us how to regard the struggle we have to try to live this harmonious life, and then there are repeatedly these occasions where we can't. So through Shinran, we're able to see that instead of practicing to polish and perfect ourselves, we come to recognize that life is hard. Life isn't always harmonious. We have limitations and flaws, attachments and ego. Other people and other groups also have limitations and flaws, attachments and ego. And sometimes there's harmony. We go to a gathering, maybe it's friends at dinner, and we have a nice time, harmony. And sometimes there are people, something does not go so smoothly, and we can think of each of those types of times, right? Struggles and disruptions occur, sometimes minor, sometimes very, very major. So it's like there are clouds, and then there's a light behind it coming through. And so we see both the disharmony and the harmony, the clouds and the light, both of these. I have clouds that block the light coming in, the light of harmony, wisdom. So each of us have these same, right? And so the beauty of Jodo Shinshu is this, to notice both of these and to see how it is a struggle and a difficulty. The clouds are always there, always coming back, always blocking the sun. So everyday life is the front line. We come, it might be easier to be in a monastery, to be at a prison and reading books, sitting comfortably, or thinking about Buddhist teachings and studying. But everyday life, we have different encounters with our friends at shopping center, the movies, wherever, at the restaurant. Something happens nice, something doesn't fit so well, right? So we see both of these, the clouds and the light coming through. So we see flaws and we see the potential for harmony that is getting blocked, okay? So we can each think of times that sometimes things go well, other times they don't. And so this is a deeper understanding and view of ourselves and of our surroundings. This is the beginning of awakening, okay? So when things go perfectly, it's not my accomplishment, our accomplishment, but so many conditions had to come together perfectly to cause that to be. And when things don't go well, it's also so many conditions that had to come together perfectly for that to happen. Again, we see clouds, we see the light behind them getting blocked. Even more clearly, we see this again and again, and our awakening process continues as if we take the time to see this, to look at this, acknowledge this. So the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, is a call from this reality to see this reality, that we are a part of these infinite causes and conditions, merging, clashing, and flowing together. So the Nembutsu is a call of these cosmic consciousness, wisdom, and compassion. This is alive and flowing throughout the infinite, throughout our lives. Okay? Not just an idea, not just a teaching. It's something that's moving all around us at all times. Okay? So we recognize occasions of wisdom and compassion touching our own lives. And this realization is, again, part of our awakening process. The Nembutsu is the voice of the infinite calling us to awaken. So when we describe it in this manner, all the self-centeredness, our blind passions, our ego are eliminated from the equation, right? It is something that is happening, not something that we're doing, okay? So awakening is something that's happening and received. The infinite is moving like this, awakening us, not something we do to get better. Hope we can see, hope I can follow the 6 paramitas, and then I can see how Amida works, what Amida is. No, this is coming this way, okay? Then gratitude arises from awakening to the truth that I and the infinite are one. There's a quote I like from Thich Nhat Hanh, and I saw it very recently in one of the new bulletins that our temples send out, and it says, when the wave recognizes the ocean, this is enlightenment. Enlightenment is when the wave recognizes the ocean. So the ocean is infinite all around us. We are the waves, and not something we do, but we recognize this is happening all around us. So as we live our lives in the midst of this evolving encounter, so our awakening is not something that, right, it's going on, it's going on. Each time we see the clouds and the sky, the difficulties and Amida, sensing this, saying Namo Amida Butsu, coming to different occasions at the temple or wherever we are. So we gradually, we have all these things to reflect upon, to consider and appreciate. So these are our awakening process. And here we can enjoy Ohigan, reminding us to meditate, to reflect upon what we're learning through our lives. So looking deeply into life, looking deeply into my life. So I think this is the process that we come to, hopefully, we gradually see, and it grows and becomes clearer and clearer and clearer to us. So please join me in Gasho, and we'll conclude this session. Enlightenment is when the wave recognizes the ocean. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Okay, thank you very much. Again, we'd like to thank everyone, all of you, for coming to the live service here in Alameda today, and everyone at home who's here at this moment, whether you're at Enmanji or Alameda or somewhere else in the universe, in the infinite universe. Thank you for participating in our service. We want to thank everyone who's involved to prepare, all the tech people, the throngs of tech people that are milling around to help do this session. People help to set up the Onaijin and provide wonderful flower arrangements for our altar setting. Obukban, Osunaya, the beautiful fruits that we always offer, rice offerings and all these things. And yeah, we thank everyone who is able to participate and contribute to everything that is able to continue. So thank you again. We'll conclude one more time, Nembutsu, and then I'll come down to light the incense and we'll end our service. Okay. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda. Namanda, 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 Namanda.